Good afternoon, everyone. In the previous classes, we have studied regarding the ISSC SI connectivity, what are the components. Then we have come across the topologies and we have studied the protocol stack. So this is the pictorial representation of the protocol stack, which is using the OSI layer between the initiator and the target. We have seen how the ISSC SI is going to discover the targets based on the location and also based on the network in which area it is available. We have seen the names that are being used that are unique to identify the target and the initiator. Now today we'll be seeing this PDU. What is this PDU? PDU is a protocol data unit which is providing as a basic information unit in ISSC SI environment. Now what this is going to do is it is going to help in terms of the communication between the initiators and the target. Now whenever we are using this one, what this communication between the initiator and the target, whenever the communication takes place, then what this communication or what this information is going to include. The first one, it is going to include the connections. The second one, it is going to include the sessions. It is going to discover, that means it is going to discover the initiator and the target, what is its location, and it is going to send the commands and the data, and also it is going to receive the status. So when it is going to receive the status and all, as I have been said, that it is either it is giving the updates and all, right? So the next one, you can see here, this is the IP packet. The data is the ISSC SI data that we want to send it, which is totally been encapsulated within this whole set of the data is called as the PDU, which is including the basic header segment, it is including the additional header segments, it is including the header digest and also the data digest. Please remember, when I say it is a digest, it is used to check the integrity of the data. Here integrity of the data means that to check whether the data is compromised or no. For that purpose, we are using the CRC method, that is cyclic redundancy check, to check whether the data is compromised or not. Okay, and then we are using this TCP header, which is used to identify or make sure that the data is being delivered to the target, and we are adding the IP header also to make sure that the packet routing is being done through the possible shortest way, and it is going to move across the network. Hope if you remember, IP is used for the routing purpose. Whenever we use this one, it is going to search the nearest routers and then it is forwarding the packets. And TCP header, we have been adding this one, make sure that it is going to find the particular target to whom the packets have to be delivered. Then moving on to the next one, we have been including the session. So what does this session exactly means? The session is a particular time period from the start and the end. It can be any number of the hours during which the information is being communicated. So here, when I'm been talking in terms of the internet small computers in system interface, the data is between the initiator and the target. The data exchange takes place. Now when I'm been having this one, then each and every session has got a particular session ID. As in your Zoom also, whenever they are taking the classes, there is a particular time slot, right, through which you are going to log in. Now the same way, there is a particular session ID being there for the initiator and the target. Now when I'm been saying this session, what is the purpose of having this session is, the first one, to discover where the initiator is there and where the target is being located and what information you want to transfer. Now in this picture, you can see that there is an initiator and here is a target which is having the two targets. In one particular device it is having the two targets. So this is a TCP connection through which your information is being transferred. You can check from one particular host, the two sessions are being established for one particular target itself. Here in the second one, there is one particular session and been targeted to only one particular target device, right? So the next one, when I say a session, then obviously there is some procedure for the session. For example is that when I begin that one, what time I have to begin it, what is the information being transferred, and how do I end it. The same way here also there are the three steps. One is the login process, second one is what all transaction takes place, and the third one is connection termination. In the login is I have to make sure that I enter the system. So to establish that connection with the target, either I use a particular port, right, or I am going to authenticate that user or the initiator and as well as the target person or the target, to make sure that they are both the valid, right? If it is invalid, then the transfer of the information might be compromised. Once I validate them together, then the point comes here is I have to transfer the information from the initiator to the target, right? And this is all done using your PDU. Please remember, we are transferring the information using the PDU. Yeah, once the transaction is being carried out, that means the information is being shared, then obviously I need to terminate the connection. Once I need to terminate, then either the initiator has to make sure, he has to say that yes, I want to just terminate, I want to log out, or the terminator is, the target is going to say that okay, I want to end, all the information is being received, and it is going to send the message back to the initiator. Either the initiator is going to send or the target is going to send. So once each other, they both are exchanging the information, they both receive the request and the response, the logout is being done, then after that they cannot transfer any sort of the information. Moving on to the next one is the command. Now as I said that they are holding a session, the transfer of the information takes place, but when the transfer of the information takes place, we have to make sure that each and everything is done stage wise, right? I need to give a command. So what is the first command I need to give? What is the second one? What is the third one? So this all is done through the commands itself. That means in terms of the request and the response. Now without logging, I cannot share the information, right? So to log in into the session, you have to send a request. Now that request is going in terms of the command, and it is being received at the target, and the target should know that yes, this is the command what I have been got. The same way, if you check over here, this is a sort of the information that is being exchanged. So you can see here, this is CMDSN, this is CMDSN2. What is a CMD? It is the command sequence number. What it is going to say is, it is going to say from the initiator to the target, whenever I communicate, the first thing whatever I send, it is being taken as the command, right? So it is giving the command numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, like this it is going to give. Now each and every time when I give, only keep on giving the commands, but what is the status I need to receive? Is it being processed? What is been happening? So for that purpose, we are using the second one called as status sequence number, to make sure that what is the response for the given command, right? Now for example is I try to give the username and the password. Now I have to get the response, I have to get the status back, whether it is a valid user ID or the invalid user ID. But if I don't get any response and I keep on giving the information, I keep on giving the input, then what happens? Unnecessary, there is a wastage of the time, there is a wastage of a data, there is the huge of the traffic is being created. So for that purpose, they are using this the commands. Now whenever I have to send a request or I have to transfer any sort of the data, so these request to transfer data units are being used, or the data sequence numbers are being used to make sure the data is being delivered on time, right? The data whatever I'm been requesting is exactly the same in order, right? Now you can check here, PDU1 is there, PDU2 is there, PDU3, 4, like this. All this data is being received in order, right? So this is how the command sequencing takes place. Moving on, as we have seen this small computer system interface which was being developed upon the IP networks, the same way this SSCSI is a tool, or I can say a technology that is being installed. Now whenever I do install this one, then I have to make sure some extra things have to be included in the system or in the initiator or at the target site. So this is a burden for any organization because they have to install it on every computer. So what they thought that when I need to have a better technology or a better tool which can provide me over the existing infrastructure itself. So for that purpose, they have come across with this fiber channel, or where I have already explained that what this fiber channel is doing, what are its component, what is its benefit and all I have already explained. So for this purpose what they thought is, already we have a IP network, okay, I have already the IP network. On this one, with the help of this IP network, can I use this fiber channel to transfer the information instead of building a new cables? So can we install this one? So this was the main purpose for the organizations, because they need a reliable channel and even the high speed channels to transfer the information. And it is not that the storage area whatever is being there is only restricted to one geographic location. There are so many geographic locations. For example, if you take the Infosys, they are owning the office in the different countries. So from each and every country they can't to transfer the information, or they can't carry the storage arrays in storage components. For that purpose what they are doing, they are using these fiber channels, they are using this SSCSI technologies only to transfer the data. They are using the help of the clouds and all. So how this is going to really help them, right? So you can check in the next slide what is the protocol stack and how the information is being exchanged. Now you can check as usual your OSI model, even this is also having application, right? We are using these SSCSI commands. The data is been there, the status is been there, and we are using this FCP, that is fiber channel protocol over the FC, right? So all this together is forming the FC frame, that is fiber channel frame, and this one is being encapsulated, right? You have been performing this encapsulation. For example, this is your FC frame, over this you are performing encapsulation using your TCP, okay, and this is being enclosed using your IP, right? So this is how the data is being transferred. And whenever I am been transferring the information, please remember we use the help of the TCP to identify the particular target. We are using the IP so that we get the shortest path so that the data is being transferred, and also the physical media is needed, that is IP network is needed to transfer the information, right? So you can check here the simple the diagram where we have been having SSCSI data. That data can be anything. For establishing the session it can be there, the commands it can be having, or it can be having to discover the names, anything can be there in this one. You have the start of the frame, you have end of the frame, you are having the CRC to check the integrity of the data. This all together, please remember, this all together is acting as your IP payload. You have this FC IP header, TCP header as I have already been said, and IP header. This all together, please remember, this all together data is being transferring over the network. right? And whenever through the network, as you all people know, that the particular data is being transferred in terms of the size. If the size, it is increasing the maximum size, then it has to be broken down in terms of the packets. It will be broken down, and again it has to be received in the order. So at the other end, that means at the target end, it is going to make sure it is going to receive and also resequence the data whatever it is being received, right? For this purpose, how they are going to identify, that is using your start of the frame and end of the frame. Moving, as I've said already, FCIP we are using, that is fiber channel over the IP we are using. How this is going to work, that means how it is being arranged, what is the topology being here. Now you can check here, we are been having the FC SAN, that is fiber channel SAN is being used. So this is the another channel we have been having here, right? So this is acting completely as one layer, and this is acting as the another layer, right? Now when I'm been having these two layers, right, in between, if you check, we have been having this IP layer to transfer the information, right? Now as I take, this is one layer, right, and this is the second layer of what I'm been talking. We are using these gateways to transfer the information. In between, what I'm been using, IP layer to transfer the information from one gateway to the another, so which is going to help us for the transfer of the information, and as it is proved that it is much more secure. Now whenever I'm using this one, then how it, as you know that this is the fiber channel and this is the IP network, and when these both have to collaborate, because they both are having the different configurations and all, how do they collaborate? So they are using these port numbers to transfer the data, so that they are going to match, because here the data is in the different form. It has to be converted to the IP network in that form, and then it has to be transferred at the another layer, right? So for this purpose and all, what they are using, they are using these gateways, they are using these switches, so that the data is compatible, right? Already in the previous example also I have been said that if I speak to you people in German language and you don't know German language, then automatically what you are using the translator. The same way here also they are been using the translator. The translator is over here is gateway. Now what happens is, the data that is moving from FC SAN, right, when it comes through this gateway and the IP network, so this is the frame. Over this the IP layer is been there, so it is been encapsulated. When it goes into the second layer, this IP is being removed, right? As it is able to read the IP packets, it is being removed, and only the FC data is being read. So this is how the topology is being arranged in the FC IP. And please remember, this FC IP is being proved to provide more security, and also it is more reliable, and the data transfer is at the data transfer, or I can say the availability of the data is at a very high rate. For this purpose, this FC IP was being used. Okay, so with this concept, with this topic, your FC IP and the SCSI, that is small computer system interface, is going to complete. In the next class, we are going to come across FCOE, right? Okay, thank you.